just give me a general overview of some of the happy surprises, sad surprises. What do you think so far of what we've seen overall?
I mean, the first team that a lot of people would talk about is the Red Wings. They
Yeah.
lead the NHL in goals per game at 5 per game. I mean,
Yeah.
they've looked like a wagon, and I know a lot of that is through the top line, but I mean, defensively, they're holding their own just fine these days too. The goaltending tandem, I wasn't thinking all that much about them going into this year. Reimer actually is looking pretty solid right now.
Mhm.
Hopefully, he doesn't have any sort of like setbacks with injuries, but yeah, they've been great. Um, and then you have the Canadiens and Flyers are actually off to good starts. I think both of them are 3-1-1 on the year. Some people might be a little surprised with what they're seeing from the Vancouver Canucks.
Mhm.
Of course, we won't talk about the recent game there. But yeah, the biggest disappointment so far, I think a lot of people would point to the Oilers. They are at just 2.6 goals for per game and 4 goals against. And I've only seen one of their games like cover to cover, and they looked great. That was in Nashville. But other than that, they've looked very flat. And of course, McDavid's dealing with an injury right now. And though, it is very early. Oh, yeah. One other team I just want to quickly highlight, the Kraken. This was a team that scored at will last year with just about anybody at even strength, and they're just not finding a way to hit the net. But I look at it this way, right? So far, the Red Wings, who haven't made the playoffs since 2016, I want to say, lead the NHL in the most goals per game, right? On the flip side, the team with the worst goals against average in the NHL, not many people would guess this. It's the Carolina Hurricanes with what should be the best defense in the NHL.
Really?
So it's early in this season.
Yeah.
When you see just how incredible these figures are for two teams in different directions, or
Right.
over the last few years in different directions, right? It's like, hey, there's a lot of hockey left.
Have you delved into what's wrong with the Canes? Because last year I predicted the Panthers were going to win the cup, and we saw how that went. And this year I predicted the Canes. So am I the problem?
Man,
And the year before, by the way, I predicted the Islanders. So
same here, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Yeah.
it's not just me. That's good.
And this year, I do have the Hurricanes winning the Eastern Conference.
Right.
Like I was saying earlier, the defense has been just atrocious for them. They had 5 of their 6 defensemen returning to the lineup this year. The only one who left was Gostisbehere, who was great for them. But even so, like the other 5 defensemen, I thought were more than capable. I was just checking to see if they've broken up the pairings a little bit. But yeah, I just didn't like how in the offseason they brought in Tony DeAngelo after. First of all, they signed Dmitry Orlov to a 2-year deal at $7.5 million annually. And I thought to myself, if Shane Gostisbehere was getting paid like $4.5 million, why wouldn't you just re-sign him? Is Dmitry Orlov that much better for the role that he's expected to have on a team that has a top 2 pairings of Slavin and Burns and Shea and Pesci,
Right.
who I think is actually injured right now. So I didn't understand Don Waddell's rationale. Again, I don't think that he was making the defense all that much better. And then they bring in Tony DeAngelo, and it's like you already have Brent Burns. Burns is somebody who is not the most responsible in his own end. That's why he plays with Slavin. So far, that's been a mess. And actually, Orlov leads the NHL with a -10 so far. I know that that's, a very
Yeah.
that's
Look,
a very unreliable stat, but it does jump out at me.